What if I told you that stress, even before you're born, can shape how your brain develops and how you handle challenges for the rest of your life?
Hi everyone, and welcome to Brain Health Solutions for All. I'm Kamille Wilson.
And I'm Elvin Rodriguez. This episode is all about stress and coping skills and how youth, families, and communities can build resources and support each other.
From the parental period through childhood and beyond, our experiences shape how we feel, learn, and connect. But with the right support, we can build strong, healthy foundations for life.
We're joined by two amazing guests, Dr. Maria, what's your last name? Kroupina, in a pediatric and expert in early childhood brain development at the University of Minnesota, the Masonic Institute of Developing the Brain.
And Jackelin?
Jara.
Jara?
Yes, it's my name, Jackelin Jara. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice. Is a community leader who works with families through bilingual education and support networks and is involved with Epilepsy Foundation of Minnesota.
We're excited to learn how science, culture, and community come together to support mental health and well-being. Maria Jackelin, thank you for being here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Jackelin Jara. Thank you so much. I am a mom. I am a leader in my community. I am Latino. I represent two Colectiva Bilingüe in community. I co-working with Epilepsy Foundation in Minnesota in Hispanic Cell. Every month made a little meeting. In this meeting, speak with another family about what is your experience about epilepsy. I have epilepsy and it's okay. In my community, in Colectiva Bilingüe, try to make a sustainable, try to make a good, try to find a good information. Thank you for this community when I arrive to this country. Because when you arrive to this country, you don't have information about schools, you don't have information about if you need to take transport or something. It's basically the work in Colectiva Bilingüe.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you for inviting. That's great. I like how Jackelin started. I'm a mom. I'm also a mom, and I also, bilingual. I came here to United States to do my school. I did my PhD in child psychology here, and I now faculty at Department of Pediatrics. And we have a clinic that are designed for children 0 to 3, where we translate brain research to the clinical program. That's why we have a very similar idea. You translate, like what needs to be done for families to community resources, and I translate from brain research to clinic.
Yeah.
Maria, let's start with you. What is stress and how does it affect the brain, especially in young children?
That's very important. Like lately we start to, and it's important for us who do stress research and stress clinical work, that to tell your kids that stress is really part of our life and it's normal. There's different ways we can understand stress that is not healthy. The stress when we don't have enough support, when little child is alone in the orphanage care or alone during the war or left alone on the streets, there's no support. That's and the stress and prolonged and really dramatic, that's impacting negatively our brain. But when we have a stress like going first day to school, like guys started a new friendship even. And for me to come here to talk to you, I'm a little stressed because it's a new place and I need to see how I will be doing here. But seeing and talking to people and make myself comfortable, I made my self-stress became tolerable. That's why we talk about the stress that is healthy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you go to the medical doctor with your parents. It's not fun, correct? But the parents can do it. Like that will be just okay. And you together with them will go through stress and it's helpful. You may go first time to school and it's a little bit new peers, new group, new summer camps coming, correct? Mm-hmm. But for some kids who experience violence, who experience, no parents, who their parents killed on the streets, that's the stress when it's become a really, really toxic. That's why the stress is a complex topic, and we need to prepare our kids that what you guys potentially can face in life, and some of them you need to make just adjustment.
Jackelin, from your experience working with families, how do you see stress show up in every day?
From my experience working with families, stress show up in many ways. When somebody don't express what feeling, when somebody just quiet, don't assume, don't maybe this person don't feeling comfortable, but what do you think? Maybe this person don't feeling comfortable with me. It's your first idea, but maybe something happened with this person, okay? In bilingual communities, we also have see the street in silence, have barrier with languages, have a lot problems because the language is really difficult to have. It's really difficult to send the message when you don't understand what need to communicate the other persons. This person's feeling uncomfortable, alone, and you need to support this person, okay? And in this little community, try to make a good space, safe spaces, and where stress is acknowledged without, and maybe try to help to support to another persons.
So to recognize their stress?
Yes.
Okay, Maria, why are the periods and the first 1,000 days so important for the brain development? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You guys can imagine, and for you, like we're talking about pregnancy, definitely a very sensitive time when the rapid development, but you may not see the pregnancy, but you can imagine the baby, how the baby looks like, but then how a 2-year-old look like, correct? This is a tremendous change for that baby who is not even having a vision as clear as ours, the hearing to the child who is really climbing the tables. So and parents need to follow them because they already know what they want. for this, our brain is prepared us that it creates from the time when we born, about 25% of synapses are in our brain that we need. But by the 2 years, we already have 80. An enormous number of connections through the first years are emerging.
So you're saying the more we see or the more we learn, the more our brain absorbs and like knowledge, I guess you're saying?
Absolutely, and the language is a great example. Do you know, guys, that we are born with innate capacity to any language? We actually don't even know what the limitation, how many languages we can learn. With the child, it's no effort to become bilingual, correct? You know about this? Because the brain is ready to learn any language. But slowly through the first year, our capacity decreases. Because environment shape our brain to hear our parents' language, our surrounding language. Some kids who, and like you go to Africa, and some kids exposed to 4 languages. There's a lot of interesting research, and we think about what is the most enriched environment we have information about. It's about languages. Like the languages allow our brain to keep the capacity moving. Otherwise, we're losing. We can be only in Chinese. Our skills, or in English, but if we're exposed, we can keep the skills. We can learn as adult, of course, too, but it's harder.
Jackelin, how do families and communities support children during their early stages?
Families and communities are child's first and most important support system. Creating routines, offering consistently love. For example, when your mom cooking your favorite food, it's special for you, right? Because your mom take time and put attention in what is your favorite food, what is your decision. And for example, when your dad take time for you, what is your favorite color? And he go to the shop and he buys something in your favorite color. It's special for you, right? And he remember what is special for you. We can create environments where children feel safe, valued, and able to build resilient from early age. Is really important for everybody. Mothers and fathers make strong adults and needs to start really early and make this every day. It's constant, it's a routine.
Jackelin, how do relationships like parents, caregivers, and community members help protect children from toxic stress?
It's really similar. Safe and constant relationships are key to protect and protecting children from toxic stress. When parents and communities provide love, stability, education, and emotional support, children feel secure. When you're feeling secure, you're feeling good, you're feeling really happy. You don't need to find another person to talking about your bad emotions, because you have your good environment, and it's really important because you don't have a toxic space. Right? It's good.
Yeah. So you're saying that it's good to be not in the toxic space, so you're in a space where people support you and stuff?
Yes, it's similar to when you clean your bedroom, for example. When you clean your bedroom, what you doing? You need to remove, for example, what you doing when you clean?
Well, I guess pick up my clothes and then put it in the washing machine.
Okay, and
Make my bed and pick up stuff on my floor if I have any.
okay, because you need to make a good picture, right? It's the same in your family. It's the same for you. When you move everything, when you work inside, you prepare your safe space. You don't have toxic emotions, you don't have toxic persons. You clean everything and you prepare your safe space. You work with your dad, with your mom, and your community.
So
it's the same.
So you're saying like to your own desires. So to basically you doing it from you, not from others. You're basically making your safe space.
In my opinion, you need to start to work in your first space. In my mind, your first space is your house. Mom, dad, or caregivers. Yeah, it's your first space. In my opinion, but maybe my opinion have 4 options. Maybe somebody accept my opinion. 25 people or 25% don't accept my opinion. 25% don't understand my opinion. And 25%
Don't like get your. So you're saying like
no le interesa.
So the other 25% doesn't even care.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Same question for you, Maria.
Could you repeat for me?
How do relationships like parents, caregivers, and community members help protect children from toxic stress?
Yeah, that's truly we do want to have a protection, and I do remember that we had a cases from they were coming from the earthquake in Haiti, and if sometimes when we saw families who like were able to support their children and hold their little kids and hands even during this traumatic time. These children were doing okay, but some children end up being on the streets alone, and if they are facing this, it was impossible for them. That's why, like the parents who with children through the very hard time, they can support and protect them from stress. But your parents, guys, also protect you from the stress every day. We did talk to you about like going to the doctors. Each of you may have your own, and it's very okay to have some that it's harder for you. Do you guys think about like maybe going to a new sport team, or maybe going for a birthday party that you don't know people? And at this moment, the parents who are helping you, like maybe talking or going with you or supporting you behind, like the 2-year-old who is on the playground playing, and the parents staying nearby, and if the big dog is coming, what the little one is doing? Running to the parent, correct? This is how it works. That's how they protect from toxic stress. Because we know where to go.
Oh, so you're saying there's a place you have a person you trust that you can go to?
Yeah, and this is our special relationship with parents. The child cannot survive, and this is a very good point you brought. We form a special relationship that's called attachment. Connection with parents that children form within the first year of life. that become the place for trust and safety. If the child has this, it's the biggest protective factor through life, and it protects through how we respond to trauma, to stress. If children don't have, and we did talk with you like alone on the streets, children abuse, neglect during the first year of life, they are at a very high risk. Again, we can help them, but it's very hard because that's the time when the child develops this trust and connection. And we as humans, we need it.
Jackelin, how do culture, language, and community support systems help people cope with stress?
When people can express themselves in their own language, in my case in Spanish, feeling identified, right? Feeling proud.
Of their identity?
Yes. Proud. Strong. Feeling, I don't know, and understand about by self. It's really important to understand and know about culture, tradition, and make a good connection with your culture, with your tradition. In my opinion, it's really, really important take your language and express. Make a good connection with your culture, with your language. Don't forget where you're coming and feeling every time proud. And never stop to speak in your mother language. Your parent mother language is really important because it's a connection where you're from. And we build space where people can share health and development resilience together.
What do you think, Maria?
Yeah, I do think we can support. Your question is about how community can support children through the stress, and I do think that we here in Minneapolis, we just had a great example of that how community can be important.
Mm-hmm.
And this winter we all experience amazing, how people are responding to challenges. And I will tell you, we are social being, correct? Human being need social interactions. We will not be even developing if we will not have people around, correct? And if we don't have people who we can trust, support, our brain will not develop where we are. That's why when we go to the very challenging places, to have a community, friends, family around us is very important. And for me, my personal experience, and in the field for a long time, I know that social relationship important, but I was really amazed when we did go to January and February for a really hard time here in the community. When I was coming to my neighborhood stores, people started to say hi to each other, how are you? And I was really interested in this question because people really wanted to know how other people doing, because all of us were in a stress and in a hard time. And this is, my brain feel better. If somebody comes to you and you feel not good and lonely and it's, fear around you, and somebody comes and say, how are you? Or hold your hand, or be together like people went on the streets, that makes for human a huge difference. And this is for young people, for you guys who have computers and all these lovely things. Remember about this. We are social beings. We need community support. We need social support. We need a touch holding your hand, somebody puts a hand on the shoulder. Sometimes maybe you will be the first for your friend who is not going for a good time. But I do think that's the piece very, very important for us human beings to remember.
Okay, all right, let's switch to practical advice. These questions are for both of you, and we want answers we can actually use in real life. And let's keep it simple and real. So, Maria, what are some healthy ways young people can cope with stress in their daily lives?
I do think that I will say that first, recognize that stress is part of life. Don't be afraid of stress. Like that's true, like that's what we are facing. Learn about yourself, what is helpful. You guys, do you know friends who are so social, who spend time with 20 people? Mm-hmm. And the other friend who will prefer to take a book and read a book in this moment, correct? Mm-hmm. We are different and it's okay. Find your own way, who you are. Don't be ashamed, or you don't need to be the same. You don't need to run around in a sport team. Some people will do. The good ways of connect to nature. The animals are amazing, correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And as I said, social contact. That's definitely something. But some people will like a big group, correct? Mm-hmm. Big friends, and some just one good friend. Learn who you are. Be proud who you are. And life is about learning who we are. It's never-ending process. And we all, Jake, we can say true, we all learn as adults how we deal with stress and what's the best. It's a life process.
Wise words. Jackelin, what does that look like in your community?
I agree with Maria, just a little point. Everybody is really different, and it's okay. It's okay, and it's beautiful, because don't change and love your difference, because it's perfect, right? And for my question, running, read a book, speak with your community, make a friends, and try to speak with another person. Make a community. You can do it. Love your community. I don't know, you can do it, everything. Express what do you need? Asking, what do you need? But don't make silence. Don't quiet. Anytime, don't quiet. Every time you need to speak. Every time you need to open doors. Because it's really important. You need to open doors every time. Your community needs your personality every time, every day. It's really important. You need to apply your personality. You need to apply love, your entregarse amor. I forget. Love by yourself, right? Be careful with your words, and don't take everything personal. Mm-hmm. Don't take everything personal. Yeah, and not making a submission. Yeah, that's it. Empathy.
Jackelin, how can families create supportive and healthy environments at home?
In my opinion, first, you need to start in your first community. It's your home. It's the first community. You need to grow in your first community and later the big community. When you're talking with your parents, with your sister, with your brother, you make strong community. Later, with your friends, with, in your school. Today you asking to your friend, how are you feeling? Everything is okay? You have a good day? I don't know. Maybe somebody have a bad day because today I have a big smile, but maybe in my house I have a lot problems. I have a biggest bag in my back. But here, nobody asking how you feeling. It's really important. It's really important. It's a little question, but it's a biggest door. When you asking how you feeling, you can open a biggest door. And sometimes somebody start to talking. Sometimes quiet, but it's okay. It's perfect because you start to make a transformation. You can do it.
Love that. And what does research say about what works best, Maria?
When we deal with the stress, correct? And that's actually surprisingly, when we started to do research, and actually in this university too, we did, there are no magic in what creates resilience. We as a human being have, a lot to rely on. And some we already did talk with you guys, and Jackelin was talking about the magic of relationship. The magic about, we also talking about magic using different, nature, animals, something that makes us feel good and comfortable. But I want to talk to you guys. Do you have a dream what you want to do when you will grow up, or something that you really, really like? Don't need to name. Do you guys have it?
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. That's resilience. Something, don't drop your dream. Because when a time of stress and you something that you are really passionate about, you're really good about, you go to your goal, it's also create a good feeling about who you are. And it also helps us to be resilient. That's what research says, no magic. Magic in us. And one of this is keep your dreams, guys.
Okay. I love how you guys all explained it, and how taking small actions can be really big, like asking how your day was. I really love that. It can make a big difference.
Yeah, it shows that small actions like taking, listening, and supporting each other can make a big difference. Okay. Quick fire round. All right. Now it's time for a quick fire round. Short answers. First thing that comes to mind. Ready? Ready?
Okay. What's one coping strategy everyone should try?
Both of you can answer.
Do you want us to team up, come up with
Okay. In my case, don't feel scared. When I say you can open the door, it's really simple. Yeah, maybe I have this personality and I'm really friendly. It's okay. Maybe you are quiet, but it's okay. I love your personality. Just tomorrow, you can try to. Hey, how are you? That's it. Just try. You don't lose nothing, but you can win everything because you tried, and that's it.
What's one piece of advice you would give to families? You want to answer this one?
Okay. To families, keep the being together. Keep your meal times. Keep it simple, but connection. This important, and I will listen to each other. You know, like the one coping for me to try to talk when it's hard. Find your sibling or parent and say, can we go for a walk? Can we have a book together? You know, like that's something that you go out to say for help in your small and close environment. And for families, be open for this when kids come. Some kids need words, and kids need somebody who listens.
That was really powerful. We want to end with some big takeaways.
What is one way people can put what they learned today into action?
For me, to recognize that stress, when we are making it manageable and supportive, is an important part of life. That you guys don't need to be afraid if you have your dream and you know where you go and you have your social support, you will be just fine. Don't afraid to be dreaming. Look for social support and find who you are and what is helpful for you when it's time gets hard.
Would you like to answer, Jackelin?
Just love your community. When you're talking about love, you need to start in your home. Later, continue with your community, and it's really important. If you have a purpose in group, it's really easy to grow really fast. But if you try to make this purpose alone, take more time. You need to work more fast, right? Mm-hmm. More fast, more easy in community.
Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing your knowledge and experiences with us.
We learned that stress can affect the brain, but strong relationships in communities and healthy coping skills can help us build resilience.
Okay, thank you guys for listening to Brain Health Solutions for All. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this episode.
And join us next time as we keep exploring ways to build healthier brains and stronger communities. Peace. Oh, I'm trying to make that cool. Never mind.